Welcome to the Mental Margarita Show. Bhreanna Myers is with us, owner and founder of Light and Breezy Coaching. And you're an integrative healer. You do a lot of different things. You specialize in sound, energy, and quantum healing, which you're going to tell us all about. You're also an intuitive medium, a shaman, and we're going to learn so much and be able to explore a little bit of more of what you do and your journey and how you came to do this. So let's welcome. There's just the list goes on. So there's so much that that you do. But where did it all begin? Let's go back to the beginning. Where are you originally from? And bring us up to kind of how this took you into your journey, which there's some turning points and some things that kind of made this all happen. So, but let's go back to the beginning for a minute and get to know you and how this all started.
Again, thanks for having me. So I guess I can't really tell you where it began. I'm actually from Las Vegas originally. I was born on Nellis Air Force Base. So it's kind of fun to be able to bridge the gap here. I guess I'll start in 2017. At the end of 2017, I had gone through a pretty big upheaval, and that started my spiritual awakening. It's when I started to realize the illusions and the things I had taken on that weren't necessarily my beliefs, or the ego started to crumble, I guess we could say. But I didn't have a significant shift until 2020, and I had a near-death experience. Well, what had happened is I had gotten fungal pneumonia from wearing masks and breathing in. I was a farmer at that time, so I would do outdoor farmers markets in the middle of winter. I live here in Minnesota, so it's very cold in winter. So my nose would run, I'd breathe it in, and I ended up getting fungal pneumonia, went to the emergency room 3 separate times. They didn't test me for anything but COVID, like no chest x-ray or anything. And then I collapsed at my home and ended up in the ICU for 3 days. But in that time, I had a 6-minute death experience. And in that, I saw the quantum field. I saw sacred geometry, the web of life, I guess you could call it, is that everything's connected. There's no separation. And I saw how my entire life, everything connected. I watched how this had to happen. And I had come from a very troubled childhood. I did not have it easy. But I saw how these all had to be dominoes to get me to that exact moment that I was at. And then I was told I was going to be coming back and that I would be on the path that I am supposed to be on, which is a healer and a warrior, and to fight for the collective to help them in this awakening that we are going through. And I think your viewers, probably a lot of them know, we are at the precipice of something big. Something is going to shift massively in our society and in our collective. And so I'm here to help guide people in that.
That's beautifully put, because there's some people that are still searching and don't realize that they haven't been truly themselves yet. You brought up the point about, we embrace beliefs that aren't our own because we are sort of brainwashed from different sources. I grew up in a highly religious family, so it took a long time after becoming an adult to kind of be able to embrace my own spirituality and be able to discern and figure out which was mine and which wasn't, how, so that I could formulate my own thoughts and belief system and really know it was truly mine and how I felt. And explain, there's something interesting that you do. You talk about quantum healing in this experience, which is your major aha moment. Really kind of brought that all to light, and you've seen everything interconnected, which it is. So I mean, we're in this information age where now we have information at our fingertips. We have so much that we have access to now, which is really exciting. This is an exciting time, it really is.
It is. That's why a lot of us incarnated at this time.
All people must be as willing to learn and accept and embrace the knowledge. So explain to the audience, because a lot of folks don't understand the quantum healing and the
Mhm.
quantum field, a little bit of the science of mind behind that. Can you just kind
Yeah.
of put that in a nutshell so people kind of understand where you're coming from in regards to the healing work that you do?
Yeah. I think the easiest way I've been able to find to describe quantum healing is that you're like a rushing nesting doll. Remember those things where there's a doll within a doll within a doll?
Mm-hmm.
And your physical body is just the inside of that doll, the little one, right? You have subtle bodies. You have your etheric body, your spiritual body, your mental body, and all of these are working simultaneously all at the same time. And that is all connected to the quantum field. So that's how quantum healing works, is that we're channeling through all of the different time spaces and realities that your soul is connected to, and we channel back in different pieces and parts of your soul that we need to heal this physical body or even your emotional body. Another big one is, I work a lot with people that have done therapy. Therapy is the mind, right? Not that there's not, therapy is very useful and there's a place for it, but when you just work with the mind, the soul, the spirit, and the body are not healing. And our body at a molecular level remembers trauma. It is in your cells, it's in your DNA. So that's why often, right around a certain time, it'll all come back up because your body physically remembers. And so I work a lot with that, clearing that out of the DNA. So I do a lot of DNA activations. I have 9 different ones that I work with, and clear out the trauma out of just the body and out of those subtle bodies.
Now you work one-on-one and you actually work remote virtually with people as
Mm-hmm.
well. Someone comes to you, what's your method? Like what do people need to know? They want to explore and really find out, okay, I'm ready to really take these extra steps, find out.
Yeah.
Some people are still searching to find who they are,
Oh
and I
yeah. Yeah.
think that through these modalities that you use, people are able to tap into their true self and tap into what needs to be fixed for them, cleared up,
Mm-hmm.
accessed. What's kind of the course of action when people come to you initially? What's your process?
Yeah, initially I have a consultation with all of my clients because there is no one size fits all. Especially when you talk about awakening and ascension, because all of our soul blueprints are different, and our purposes and our path are all going to be slightly different. And of course, what our experiences here on Earth have been. I work a lot with women who have gone through sexual trauma. There's a specific modality I work with called Medtronia and Metatrea, and it's the divine masculine and divine feminine energy of Metatron or Archangel Metatron. And that one is really good because it clears with divine light source anything that was like physically attached from like any kind of physical trauma. So, and then it balances our feminine, masculine energies because we all have feminine and masculine energy, and it's finding the balance between the two.
The fascinating part behind all of this is that this is ancient wisdom that has
Mm-hmm.
existed for thousands and thousands of years, and we knew this once before,
Yes.
and we functioned and operated in this awakened state so many years ago. Bhreanna, thank you so much.
Thank
Light
you.
and Light and Breezy Coaching. We're so glad that you joined us today, and we had a great visit and learned so much from you.
Yeah.
So
Yes. Thank you for having this experience with me, co-creating.
we're so glad you're with us, and we have some very special things to talk about today, and talk about some of the wonderful work that you're doing. Now, you're hailing from New Mexico, is that right?
From Colorado, but we moved to New Mexico a little over 7 years ago. So that's where we are today.
And you do some amazing work. We're going to go into more detail about that, with the animals that you rescue, from taking care of their vet costs, their transportation. A lot of them, this is the end of the road for them because they've been put out of their homes due to being senior pets. pets with disabilities and medical issues. It's wonderful that you have this rescue, and we're gonna talk more about what your needs are and what we can share with the audience in ways that they can help you. So how did this all come about? Because it always starts with one that starts this journey. So tell us a little bit about how this all came to be.
Well, there's actually two that kind of led me in the direction I ended up taking. My father passed away in 2004, and a real hard time with it. Completely depressed. Was dating a guy, and he went out and bought a chocolate lab. The puppy was not for me, it was for him. However, that dog brought me back from complete despair, depression, and I really don't know if I'd have made it through without Hank. So I ended up keeping Hank when the relationship ended. And then I just kind of, I started volunteering because I just felt like I owed a lot to the canine population because of what Hank did for me. And then I found on my way home from work one night, I was driving down a very busy street in Denver, and there was a pit bull running around, almost getting hit by cars. So I stopped my car in the middle of the road and guided this pit bull out of the street. He was in Denver. It was during BSL, which is breed specific legislation. Had he been caught by code by animal control, he would have been euthanized immediately because that was their policy. Right. There were no pit bulls allowed in Denver, Colorado. So I got Slater out of the road, found out where he belonged. Turns out he had been abandoned by the person that had him. So he was living under the skirt of a trailer, being fed scraps by the other people that worked at this place. It was kind of a warehouse, industrial type place with different businesses there. And the guy that abandoned Slater had lost his lease and just left Slater. So after working with 2 different shelters and a rescue with Slater, Slater was being trained to be a guard dog. So he had a lot of issues with, he wasn't actually human aggressive, but he could be in his territory. You know what I mean? It's what he was being trained. But he was a real sweet, believe it or not, when he didn't perceive a threat. So after having him with 2 different shelters and a rescue that all 3 were going to end up euthanizing him, I just bit the bullet, paid for training, brought him home, and I just lost Slater. He was with me till he was over 16 years old. I saw the despair, the sadness with all these senior dogs being dumped at the shelter or left for dead, like you said, on the streets. So that's where the journey began.
What is your biggest need? What do you want people to, if they want to reach out and help? Because there's a lot of folks that do want to support a rescue such as yours, but they need to know what you need too. If there's certain special foods, special diet, they can order you a box from Chewy and send it to you. If there's different ways that they can help. What's your greatest need that you maybe don't always have them, that you would like more of?
Well, obviously money. Because, to house them, feed them, vet them it's substantial. It costs me about $3,500 a month to keep this place going. And that's without any emergency vet care or anything like that. That's just if there's a routine vet visit or something, I have several dogs, though, on different diets, and we do have a Chewy wish list. And I cook for them mostly, because at least that way I know what's going in. Right. Since their food, since we are on a limited budget, I can't buy them I can't afford to buy them the best production type food. So in cooking for them, I am assured I know what's going in it. I can put supplements in it that they need. And so, yeah, I do a lot of cooking for these silly guys. But then there are a few that are on special diets because of kidney failure, or like I have one girl who's got stones, urine stones. And some of the diabetic dogs have to have a little bit different diet for their diabetes. They have to have a low phosphorus diet, such. Probably the majority of dogs I've ever had are from California, because
Wow.
I found a lot of great networkers out there. Well, Rhea, for one, that's how we met. She fostered an old dog that we saved out of the Orange County shelter.
Yes, shout out to Rhea Roma.
Yeah, yeah. So I've had dogs come in from Georgia. If I had an open spot and there was a way to get them here, it didn't matter where they were from.
He's quite comfortable on camera.
Yeah, he's doing much better than I thought.
There's actually, for most of the interview, he was like looking right into the screen. So this was great for for the interview. Well, we're glad that you've shared what you do with us, so that we can share this with others and be able to tell your story and be able to encourage people that want to help in some way, where how they can help you and be able to help an animal in need. And it feels good when we give and we're able to make a difference. And we thank you for your commitment. This is a 24/7 type of job, and it's your life, day in, day out. There's no breaks, no vacations. This is every day, folks. Every hour of the day is spent in care of these animals.
I don't even know how long it's been since I've had a good night's sleep, but it's worth it. It's worth it as long as they're happy.
Yes. And we thank our star of the show, Homer, for joining us.
Yay! Good job, homies. Let's see. Say goodbye. Don't look at me. Look at.
Hey, Homer. There's Homer. There's that pup.
There.
Hey, pup. Well, thank you so much, Rita, for visiting with us and sharing what you do. And we'll make sure that everyone gets the word and they're able to reach out to you and be able to help where you need it most.
I appreciate it very much.
Well, you know what? I'm excited, and I think the audience should be extremely excited because LA Trench is in the house. And you know what I love? What I really love about you is I love the music. It's exciting. It feels like it, music is sometimes missing that excitement. And find my way, that song.
Yeah.
Love the record. Love the record.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Love that. And Tana's on there, right?
Yeah. That's a feature. That's my wife on there. That's my wife.
Man, you guys are a deadly combination.
Right. I appreciate that, Sly.
I'm loving that duo. But let's talk. So it's Louisiana. That is where it all started.
Of course.
Okay.
Born and raised.
Tell us a little bit about your childhood, growing up in Louisiana and all that good stuff.
Be honest, childhood was great. I grew up, both my mom and father, in the house, and that helped a lot. It gave me a lot of influence, a lot of impact on my life, and just growing up, I mean, you get a chance to witness a lot of things. You grow through a lot of things. And I've had a lot of experiences that help navigate my life. I will say that.
I can imagine. From what we have heard about Louisiana, different parts that, you know, there's from poverty, there's a lot of real
Right.
ghetto life that goes on, right?
And right now to this day, it's still happening. You know, I'm looking to try to be impactful for my city. You know, it's a struggle there right now. You know, you're always dealing with love and loss on a daily basis. You know, we've had a few instances that have happened, you know, in our city that just looking to make a change for the younger generation.
As you're growing in this environment that's, you know, has all these different traps for brothers,
Right,
and you got to try to navigate through this and not fall into these traps.
right. And I'll be honest, I've used music to help me navigate it. You know, a lot
Music,
of times
music.
yes, I found myself a lot of times speaking to myself or being able to navigate listening to that music. You know, I mean, we have a lot of different musical styles out there, but it's about how you intake it to how it affects your life. And when I do
Right.
my music, I use my music to guide me. Hopefully, it can guide someone else.
What was something that kept you on the right path? So it was definitely music.
Music was a big part of it. You know, I also had my father in my corner. You know, he's lived those streets, he's walked those different lines. You know, so we talked about a lot of that. So when I was able to witness it firsthand, I already kind of had an up on it to decide, like, hey, is that the way I want to go? You know,
Yeah.
just forward thinking, like, okay, there's consequences behind actions. If I make this move, am I satisfied with the results? You know,
Right.
it gave me that logic, and it helped me along the way.
Having a father figure is
Yes,
so important,
very.
very important. And you
I
know,
know it's not the typical story, you know, but
right.
I'm grateful that I had that, that I have that.
Yeah, you're very grateful. And you're also grateful that where you're from is very rich in culture.
Yes.
So you started getting into the music at a very early age 15.
And between
So
13 and 15, me and my closest friend, we would grab two radios. We'd put one together. One was playing the beat, we can record the actual songs on. And that's what started it.
and what were some of the artists that were inspirational to you?
And you talking about art form and business. You know, I was started with a Louisiana native. You have Master P, of course, but artists like KRS-One, Rakim, I jam
Ooh,
Nas, Jay-Z, Jada Kiss. I mean, I have a whole list of them that represent the art form itself, and it's taken
wow.
part of me. You know, and as you grow, you know, your style grows along with you, and you take a little bit from here, take a little bit from there, and you create it into your own.
And your own is something that's very unique. But what I really love about your music too is that you depict some of the things that you've gone through, your personal experiences, real life stuff. Is that something that you feel proud of?
Um, that's something that I carry with me no matter what. You know, I guess I can speak and say in a grateful sense, I'm grateful for every bit of it because it's a part of what made me, a part of
Yeah.
what's making me. So no regrets.
No
Like
regrets whatsoever.
say everything happens for a reason. I embrace the reasons for each season.
Oh, that's a bar. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a bar right there.
Yes, you're right.
Now let's talk about the album. I am.
As I am. Yes,
I like the title, man.
for sure. And I'm working on it, you know, to try to cover a lot of aspects of me, things that made me, things that we all may go through,
That's a
you
great
know,
title.
to
Very
find
great
our
title.
way.
So how close are you done with this project?
I would say I'm about halfway through now, a little more than halfway through, but still just making sure I line out the right things and the
Okay.
message is correct.
Right. The message has got to be correct. Now, is Find My Way, is that going to be on this album?
Yes, it is.
That's my
Find
that's
my
my
way,
that's my
find my way.
jam. That's my jam right there. And you and your wife, is she going to be on other songs besides this one?
I'm working on it. That's my biggest support right there.
Wow, that's beautiful. How do they get in contact with LA Trench?
You can always reach me on Facebook. That's I guarantee if they hit the inbox or anything, I can leave a number somewhere if need be, but always Facebook.
It's great to have you on the show, my brother.
And I appreciate you, Sly.
I'll see you soon.
Sure. One love.
One love. Be safe on the road.
Sure.
I really hope you find your way.
Box full of puzzle pieces and all the reasons. Whether it was just a phase or just a season, a figment of your imagination, but it was needed. Like knowing where you wanna be, but you can't see it. Like it ain't no way. The journey ahead is a path made by you. Make your own and you can leave a trail, yeah. Not everybody's got the know, no. Not everybody's got the go, no. But you got to hold it in the road, yeah. Got to keep it in control, yeah. When you willing it, who knows best? I'm looking up before I even go. See what's for real, it's for show, yeah. Yeah. When you start to notice it, then you should say less. When you know you notice it, then you can say that. Too many notices, I'm trying to find my own way back. Kinda funny that I say that while I'm working on my way back.
Just a girl from around the way. I can hear what you trying to say. Maybe one or two times might have crossed your mind, but I really hope you find your way. Just a girl from around the way. I can hear what you trying to say. Maybe one.
Attention business owners, get your messages to Pahrump and Nye County by advertising with KNYE 95.1 FM, the big voice of Pahrump and Nye County. Call 775-537-6100. That's 775-537-6100.
If you're buzzed and doing this to make yourself feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive.
You're starstruck, here's a sprinkle of the stardust. Hold your champagne glass and your cigars up. See the guys with mob ties drive the cars up. Bright lights, most nights they buy the bars up. Candy coated Chevy cars on the highway. It's Frankie baby, it's on and this is my way. Dean Martin at the Sands this Friday. With Sammy Davis, here's a little hint where I stay. The city shines like Liberace's mansion. And you know Elvis had the whole city dancing. Showgirl silhouette steady prancing. Shout out to June, just the Copa Girls anthem. Legal gambling, yeah, that would tempt me. At Sin City, holy water couldn't cleanse me. And Wayne Newton had the crowd in a frenzy. Live at the Stardust, the seats never empty.